Josh Allen believes the window of opportunity is open. I believe in what we have going on here, and that'll never change. And look, confidence is a great thing to have. You have to have confidence to survive in the NFL. Everybody has confidence, but sometimes the confidence is misplaced. And this gets back to something Chris and I were talking about yesterday. I wrote about it last night. If you are the owner of the Buffalo Bills, do you owe it to yourself, to the franchise, and to the city it represents to at least go through the mental gymnastics of whether or not one of these big-name coaching candidates out there, a Jim Harbaugh, a Bill Belichick, a Mike Vrabel, even a Pete Carroll, could come in and get you over the hump while you have years left in the Josh Allen prime? That's the real question. You got 6 years out of Josh Allen and one AFC championship. And it isn't his fault. It's only been one AFC championship. What do we have around him? And do we just run it back? Same old, same old. Do we keep doing what we've done and expect different results? And are we okay with that? Hey, I said this about the Vikings a few years ago. I felt like for their organization, being just good enough was just good enough. We're in the conversation every year. We make the playoffs every other year. I mean, the Bills are making it every year. They get into the divisional round. They got to an AFC championship. We're exciting. We're interesting. We're on national TV. We're making a lot of money. You know, if we try too hard to go the rest of the way, that could blow up and we could lose this sweet spot we found where we're a team that's relevant every single year. That's the analysis, and I'm sure that Bills fans would all say, let's go all in. Let's go all in and win. Let's get one of these better coaches, one of these guys that would be an upgrade over Sean McDermott. They'd be an upgrade over most coaches. This isn't a knock on Sean McDermott. And I feel bad even saying this, but the way I reconcile it, Charean, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane, the coach and GM of the Buffalo Bills, on a constant basis are evaluating their roster and deciding who should be on the team, who shouldn't be on the team, who should be playing, who shouldn't be playing. And it's all under the guise of the best interest of the team. So that same analysis fairly applies to them at some point. Should they continue in this position, or is there a way to make this team better as we spin our wheels at the divisional round and can't bust through to the Super Bowl? It's a fair conversation for ownership to have. The question is, will they do it? And if so, if they have that thought, if they have that deliberation, will they actually make a change to a team that is among one of the best in the NFL?
I always love when players say, our window's going to be open for a while and, we've got all these chances. There are no guarantees in this game. You look at what Dan Marino did early in his career. Same thoughts. Our window's going to be open for a long time. We're going to win many championships here. Everyone's saying Dan Marino never won a championship, obviously, with the Dolphins. There are no guarantees that Josh Allen is going to win a championship with the Bills. There are no guarantees that they're ever going to get it done. Only the Chiefs and the Ravens have more regular season wins since Allen was drafted in 2018. He has 58, and that ties the Saints for the most without reaching the Super Bowl. So what are you going to do to take that next step? That's what they need to be evaluating. Is it the coach? Is it something else? Is it just the talent level? Do we need more talent? If we do, what positions do we need more talent? What's keeping us from going on and winning the championship game? And frankly, getting past the divisional round has been a problem for them. As you said, Mike, only one AFC championship game appearance. So what's preventing us to get there and then get over that hump to get to a Super Bowl? That's what they've got to spend this next week evaluating. What's going to get them that next step that they need to take to get there? And whatever that is, whether it's a new head coach, whether it's new personnel, whatever it is, they've got to figure that out. Because again, no guarantees that they're ever going to get there. But you have the quarterback, or you think you have the quarterback to get you there. He hasn't proved yet, obviously, that he can get to a Super Bowl. But you think you have the quarterback in place. So what is it that's keeping you out if you have the quarterback in place?
And I feel like some of these organizations, they're fearful of taking a step back in their effort to take a step forward. So we don't want to risk where we are by making a dramatic change and pivoting to a different coach. But again, I'm Sean McDermott, I feel bad for him. He probably assumed he coached his way out of that situation where it felt inevitable it was going to be over. After they lost to the Broncos with the extra man on the field, we felt like the Bills were circling the drain for 2023. They won 6 out of 7 down the stretch. They ended up the number 2 seed. They ended up the AFC East champions. There are a lot of reasons to say we should do this again next year. But what are you going to do differently to get beyond? I've said for years, it's almost better to not be on the porch at all than to be constantly knocking on the door and not able to get it to open. Because there's a point where it just becomes, there's a fatigue. When your fan base loses, there was a guy bawling in the stands after the game on Sunday night. I mean, grown man crying like a little kid. When you go through that despair every year, it really is. I mean, the fan bases following the teams that didn't make it to the playoffs or that lost in the wild card round, they see the losses that happened in the divisional round, and thank God we're not going through that. So it hurts. The higher you go, the more it hurts. And I think every year that it happens, the more it hurts. And Fire McDermott was trending last night on Twitter. Unless they're talking about Dylan or some other McDermott who's in hot water, they're talking about Sean. And, the Bills fans, they just want to finish the job. They've been waiting more than 30 years to finish the job, and they have a quarterback that they believed was going to be the guy to get the job done. It hasn't happened. So we just generally keep an eye on Buffalo because the ingredients are there for something, especially when you've got this array of great coaches that you could hire any of them and say, maybe this is the guy that gets us over the top. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.